Thursday Night Football kicking off week number 4, gents. It is a big one, and it's sometimes an overstatement when it's week 4, but not this time, because you take a look at the NFC North, and you've got not one but 2 0-3 teams sitting in there. The Vikings at 0-3, and then the Bears at 0-3. Now, I'd proffer to say the Bears at 0-3 are a hard 0-3, as in very hard for them to dig out from it. Minnesota Vikings, though, have the equipment to dig out from an 0-3 hole, but we place those aside because on Thursday Night Football, right here on Roku with Prime Video being available for you to see it right here on this here platform, you got the Lions and the Packers, baby. 2-1 versus 2-1. And it's going to be on. I can't wait to see this. I have a feeling, again, I've been picking against the Packers after choosing the Packers twice now. And each of those times, the Packers have won their football games. So, what do you think about this Thursday night game? Chris Brockman, TJ Jefferson, I open the floor to you guys.
I love this game. I love this game because I really like Jordan Love, big fan of his, but that Detroit Lions defense really impressed me last week against Atlanta. Atlanta, we know, run-first team, wasn't able to get anything going from Bijan Robinson or Tyler Algier. Weren't able to get anything going from that run attack. Really shut them down. And now Aaron Jones probably going to be back. Christian Watson probably going to be back. That Green Bay offense should be kind of running on maybe not all cylinders, but more than they've been for the first 3 weeks. And so can they turn it up here against Aiden Hutchinson and crew? Very curious to see how that plays out.
TJ, what are your 2 cents on this subject matter?
You know, I said this on the What the Football podcast.
I've heard of that podcast.
On Tuesday, you know, I predicted that Jordan Love was going to be a sit last week for fantasy purposes, and for 53 minutes.
He was a sit.
I looked great. And then the last, 7 minutes, Jordan Love turned into something that I didn't expect him to be.
He turned into him.
He turned into him. And you know what, Chris? I know we talked last year whether Jordan Love was any good at football and how this would work. I think the Packers got themselves a real one, Rich. And I think now when he gets Aaron Jones and Christian Watson back, I think you got to be worried about these Packers. And I know Aiden Hutchinson was the Defensive Player of the Week last week, even though Myles Garrett probably raised his hand and said, what about me? I'm going to go with the Packers on Thursday, man. I don't want to say I believe, but I'm pleasantly surprised in Jordan Love right now.
After not throwing an interception seemingly for like 4 years, Goff has interceptions in multiple back-to-back games. Dave Montgomery expected back. I want to see what the run attack looks like between the tackles with him. And let's get Jahmyr Gibbs on the outside.
We need Jahmyr
Seems like
Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs is not a between-the-tackle guy. Get him out in space. Let him make plays. Go vertical. Sam Laporta kind of had a breaking out game last week.
Really good, isn't he?
Really special player.
Preseason.
Really special player. I kind of expect a high-scoring game. These Thursday games sometimes are duds offensively. I expect a lot of points.
A lot of sun god
And Thursday
on
night,
Thursday, Chris.
some sun god action. I think it's going to be close. One score. Last team with the ball last wins.
I'm landing on the location and how Love showed I'm going to say it. I'm not saying he is this guy. He's much more talented and better. But there was like a Tebow type quality to the end of that game where it was.
I feel you.
The game was over.
It was
17-0. They're getting smoked.
The Undertaker, right? Just coming up. Undertaker GIF right there. And so that said, I said it on the show to end Wednesday, and it's kind of crazy to say this about a Lions team whose quarterback is better indoors. He has shown Jared Goff as good. He's like one of those dome guys. He's a former Ram quarterback, just like Kurt Warner, likes playing indoors. Remember Matthew Berry came on and said, pick up Goff in your league because his last 10 games are indoors.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not in places that are frigid. I just think the Lions are going to be better on the road this year. That they're one of those teams that just rallies around that nutty coach of theirs and bites off kneecaps and loves. They just have a certain knack for quieting the crowd, and they quieted Aaron Rodgers in his last game as a Packer. They sent him to New York, and so I'm leaning towards the Lions here. Plus, I chose them to win the division, and if I chose them to win the division, and I'm going to be consistent, it's because they win a game like this one. This is how you win your division, by winning not just your division game on the road, but you win your division game on the road against the opponent you need to beat to win the division. It goes through Green Bay. It's always gone through Green Bay. I don't care that Favre turned to Rodgers, turned to Love. Through Green Bay. And this is the team, based on the records alone through the first 3 weeks, is the one opponent they need to get through to win the division. Lions win on the road just because I said they were going to win the division, and maybe I'll be wrong. If they lose this one, then maybe it's the Packers division. And I know it's just 4 weeks, but this is the way you put your calling card out there. And it's a long way to go. And they face the Packers again in Detroit on Thanksgiving, which is going to be a great one.
And see, I'm going the other way for the exact same reasons you said. I thought Green Bay was going to win the division. I think Jordan Love is that guy. He's going to follow that Favre Rodgers mold. He kind of does have the it factor if you watched how they came back and won 18 fourth quarter points last Sunday. So that's why I think I'm going to take Green Bay in a close one, but it's going to be a really fun game.
And again, if you're going to win the division, you need to beat the team that is your toughest competitor in your division when you're at home.
Right.
You got to take care of these.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, this is a fun one.
Yeah. Really fun.
On Prime Video, which you can see right here on Roku, Thursday Night Football, Lions and Packers. Oh, my. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.